everyone, so today's video is going to be my quick everyday kind of go-to summer makeup tutorial. So this is kind of what I do when I just want to get ready really quick and I don't really want to do like a full glam look. So the first thing I'm going to go in with is the Drunk Elephant Physical Daily Defense. And this is a sunscreen. It has SPF 30, but it's also a little bit tinted, so I really like that because I'm not going to be using foundation today. I'm just going to be using this kind of as our tinted moisturizer slash foundation. So this kind of just gives a tiny bit of coverage and just evens out your skin tone a little bit. So I'm just going to be applying that all over the face, and this also has SPF, so it protects your skin as well. Then I'm going to go in with a little bit of concealer. This is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind. So I'm just going to put a little bit of this under my eyes and also over my eyelid, almost for like a eyeshadow primer, even though we're not going to be putting much eyeshadow on. And then anywhere where I tend to get redness, and also if I have any blemishes, I will also use this to cover those up. So I'm not putting on much of this. I'm literally just covering the spots where I think need a little bit more coverage and to kind of even out my skin tone a little bit more. And I'm just going to go in and blend that out with a sponge. And sometimes when I'm doing a more full coverage look, I will go on with a lighter concealer under my eyes to kind of highlight. But with this look, since it's so light coverage and it's not even close to like full glam, this concealer matches my skin tone pretty well. So I'm not going to go in with a concealer that's a lot lighter than my skin tone because it'll just look kind of weird. And already I just put a tiny bit of concealer on, and with that tinted moisturizer SPF, that just evens out my skin tone and makes it look a lot better. So now I'm just going to go in with a little bit of powder. This is the Catrice Prime and Fine Mattifying Powder, and this is a really good powder. It keeps me matte all day long, but I'm only going to be applying this underneath my eyes just to kind of set that and make sure it doesn't crease. But I do have more dry skin, so I'm just going to be setting the kind of like necessary more oily spots. So I'm also going to go down the center of my face where I tend to get oily, and then on my forehead, just to kind of mattify it a little bit so I don't get shiny throughout the day. But the outer portions of my face I'm going to leave without powder. And if you have really oily skin, you can set your whole face if you want to, or you could just do no powder at all if you find that you don't really need it. Then I'm going to go in with the Natasha Denona Bronze and Glow, and I'm just going to be using the bronzer shade in here. It's a little bit more of a warmer, I think this is actually supposed to be a blush, but I find that it works really well almost as like a blush and bronzer in one. So I kind of apply it a little bit higher than I would normally apply my bronzer, and it gives a little bit of shape to the face as a bronzer would, but it also gives a little bit of color to your cheeks. So it kind of works as a bronzer and blush in one. So I'm just going to go around where I would normally bronze. And you could use this as your blush and bronzer and not even apply a blush. But I do like a good blushy look. So I'm going to be applying another cream blush. So I'm going to go in with the Flower Beauty Blush Balm in the shade Nectar. And this is more of a peachy color, so I'm just going to take a little bit of that on my finger. And you don't need much of this, it's really pigmented. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that and I'm going to apply that right to my cheeks, just blending it out with my finger. I find that this is the easiest way with my finger. You could probably also use a brush or a sponge, but I just find this the easiest. And I like to take my blush up here, kind of around where we put that bronzer. Just, I don't know, I feel like it pulls it all together. And I also do like to go across the bridge of my nose a little bit. And then I'm going to go back in with my Beauty blender and just kind of blend that out a little bit and tone it down a little bit in case I put kind of too much on. and also just blend it out and make sure there's no harsh edges. Now I'm going to go in with a little bit of cream highlight. This is the Benefit What's Up highlighter, and I'm just going to apply this directly to my cheeks, just right on the top of my cheekbone, and I'm just going to blend that out with my finger. And I find that these cream products do work well over powders, because sometimes cream products can get a little weird when you put them over powder. And also, since we didn't apply very much powder to our face, I think most cream products would work with this look. So you can just use whatever you have. And if you have more oily skin, you can even use powder products instead of creams. And I'm also going to take a little bit of that Benefit highlighter and put it on my inner corner and on my brow bone. So this is also a lot quicker, just using the same highlight for your eyes as well. Then I'm going to go back into the Natasha Denona Bronze and Glow, and I'm going to take a little bit of that bronzer shade, and I'm going to take it on a fluffy crease brush, and I'm just going to blend that into the crease pretty lightly. So this is just going to add a little bit of dimension, but it's not going to be too harsh or anything, and it's going to kind of pull the whole face together because we use this all over the face. And I find that's also a lot quicker multitasking products instead of using like 20 different products. Then I'm going to go into a single shadow. This is the Ace Beaute Glimmer shadow in the shade Iced Latte. And this is currently in my Pan of Every Color project. So I'll have that linked for you if you're interested. But I'm just going to apply this all over the lid. And this is just going to give a little bit of color and also a really pretty glittery shimmer. And I love my glitter, so you could just apply a matte shade or like any glitter topper you like if you like glitter. Or you could even just leave this as it is with only that bronzer shade in the crease. And this just gives a lot of dimension to the lid, and I think that looks really pretty. Now I'm going to go into brows, so I'm just going to spoolie out my brows. And while I'm doing this, I also like to brush through my lashes because I find that mascara just applies better when your lashes are kind of like combed out. And then I'm only going to go in with this pencil a tiny bit. I'm not fully filling in my brows like how I would if I was doing a full glam look, but I'm just gonna fill it in where I have some sparse areas. So if you have really full brows, you could just go in with a brow gel and completely skip this step, but I'm just gonna fill in some of the sparse areas like at the front of my brow and then at the tail end of my brow, just to give it a bit more shape before I put brow gel in. And then I'm just going to apply some mascara. This is the Benefit Bad Gal Lash. This is just the one I have open right now. And I know I kind of do this in a weird order, but now I'm going to go in with my brow gel. And I like to do my top lashes and then go in with my brow gel while I wait for those to dry. So as you can see, the brow gel just really gives more color and dimension to my brows. Like if you can see the difference, it makes such a big difference. So if you have fuller brows, like I said before, you can just apply brow gel. You don't really need to fill them in. And then now I'm going to go back into mascara and do my bottom lashes. And then for lips, I'm just going to go in with a nude liner. This is the Essence Soft Contouring Lip Liner in the shade Big Proposal. And this is currently in my project pan, that's why it's so tiny. But I'm just going to fill in my lips with this just to give them a little bit of shape. And then lastly, I'm going to go in with the Fenty Gloss Bomb in the shade Cheeky. And the lip liner underneath that is just going to help it stay on longer. And when it wears off, it's not going to look as, like, it's going to look like you still have something on your lips. And I like to go in with a little bit of a brighter gloss when I'm wearing such a neutral look, because I feel like it kind of makes it look like you put a lot more effort in than you did, and it just kind of gives a bright pop to your face. So that's it for this easy, everyday, go-to look. I really hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope it inspired you in some way. And if you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Also, I post new videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. So if you want to see more from me, make sure to subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell icon to get notified every time I post. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.